Tell you, stuff happens to me in New York that I don't think would happen anywhere else if I lived in this country. Today somebody smoked crack in my face. I wish I was making that up. I was just standing on a train platform. I was waiting for the train, and this guy walks up. And, people walk up and start talking to you in New York all the time. But then he opened his mouth, and I was just like, "Oh, you're not one of us." This dude's a day walker, right? And crackheads, they don't say a lot, but what they do say, they say a bunch. Because he walked up and he just kept looking at me. He kept going, "God bless you, brother. God bless you. God bless you, brother. Be blessed, brother. God bless you so much, brother. God bless you. God bless you, brother. Be blessed, brother. God bless you so much, brother. God bless you so much. God bless you. God bless you so much, brother. God bless you. God bless you." I was like, wow, I'm getting a lot of blessings. So then the train comes, and then I got on the train, and he got on the train. It was just me and him in the train. Yeah, that's where I fucked up, because he sat directly across from me like crackheads do. And he just kept going, "God bless you, brother. God bless you. God bless you, brother. Be blessed, brother. God bless you so much, brother. God bless you so much, brother. God bless you. Be blessed. God bless you, brother. God bless you." I was like, damn, this dude is generous. And then he just pulled out a crack pipe. Crackheads, they smoke anywhere. They ain't got no privacy about where they smoke crack. Any place is a great place to smoke crack. And I tell you what I learned, crack works immediately. Ain't no fuse on crack, bro. That shit is instant. It is not dial-up. It is 5G download speed. Because he went from, "God bless you, brother, God bless you," yeah! And I was like, yo! And I ran like a bitch. I ran. Just a Looney Tunes cloud right behind me. I ran. And I guess the people in the car oversaw what was happening to me because they held the door open for me. That don't happen in New York. They don't hold the door open. And they were holding the door open. They were like, "Get in here." They're like, "Hey, man, are you good?" And I was like, "God bless you, brother. God bless you." Hey, that was my day. New York is a crazy place. I'm from the South originally. And, yeah, you said, "Let's go." Like a white guy over here, "Let's go." That's exactly why I left. Hell no. No, but like Southerners are very nice people. Like we're almost too nice, tell you too much, Sometimes I'll go home to the South, I'll go to like a grocery store. This happened not too long ago. I was in the grocery store and I just asked the person how they were doing. I was like, "How's your day going?" And they were like, "Oh, we lost the dog and house got blown away. And Pop got blown away in the house. But God continues to bless us with his glory every day." Like I didn't want to know any of that, honestly. I just put my oranges in the bag, Gladys. New Yorkers, on the other hand, very kind people, but not nice people. Straight up. Like I was at this pizza restaurant not too long ago. I'm getting a slice of pizza. I go to check out, and then I realize up on the wall, clear as day, they got a sign that says cash only. And I didn't have any cash with me. This ain't 1945. And I had to kind of discreetly flag the guy down that put the pizza in the oven. I was like, "Hey, man, come here. Let me talk to you. Between you and me, just between us bros, do me a favor. Take the pizza out of the oven. Put it back in the glass, okay?" And I guess the lady behind me saw what was going on in my situation, and she said very quietly, "You ain't got no money?" And I was like, "You blowing my cover, but no, I don't have any money. I didn't bring any cash with me." She was like, "All right, well, that's no big deal. I got a little extra cash on me. I'll buy you a slice of pizza. It's on me today." And I was like, "Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you." And we're sitting there waiting. I start making chit chat. I go, "So, do you live in this neighborhood?" She goes, "Mind your business." I was like, "You're right. That's on me. I'm sorry. I was asking too many questions. I was running off at the mouth." It's pretty much New Yorkers in a nutshell. Like, we'll help you carry a baby stroller up the steps, but really that's just because we want you to move. Like, we don't want anything to do with your ugly ass baby, dog. Like, why you got an open-faced baby on the subway? What's wrong with you? Next to all these, there's a homeless dude trying to bite your baby right now. Don't you see this? It's crazy. Y'all, it's very impressive to me when people are parents in this city because I feel like you got to be rich, honestly. Like when I see somebody with a baby, I'm like, oh, they doing well in life. They got a baby or in this economy on this earth. It's gotten to the point I don't even talk to women that don't have children anymore. I'd be like, you ain't got no kids? Ugh, poor. Oh, somebody's broke. I'm at that age though where people, all my friends are having kids. They're parents now on purpose. That fucks me up a little bit because I'm not quite caught up to them yet. Sometimes they'll tell me like we're expecting, and I'm like, oh shit. You need a ride or like what you? They're like, no, we're gonna keep it. I'm like, okay. They try to get me to do it too. I have a friend named Steven. He's a proud father. He tries to get me to be a parent. We'll talk about his kid. And he's like, man, it's nothing better than being a father, man. I'm like, freedom's pretty good, He's like, no, you should have a kid, Jordan. I'm like, no, not right now. He's like, come on, man, have a kid. I was like, no, man. He's like, why not? I was like, it's not the right time, man. He's like, I'm going to tell you something as a father, bro. It's never a right time to have a kid. And I was like, nah, nigga, Wells Fargo told me now not the right time to have a kid. Pretty upset I got my own Netflix account, honestly. I'm trying to work my way up, though. Trying to work my way up to that status, be a kid owner, saying? Trying to own me a kid, bruh. 2026 model in black. That'd be dope. I can't own a kid right now, bro. If I owned a kid right now, we'd be stressed collectively. Because I know I'm going to have an extra job. And the baby's going to have to drive for Uber. Right? It's going to come home at 3 o'clock in the morning speaking Arabic. It's like, who you been on the phone with all night, dog? Who are they always on the phone with? Like, who are all the Uber drivers talking to, bro? Like, every car, day or night, as soon as you get it, please sit down. And then they lean, they get quiet. Sometimes I rip their AirPod out. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Who is this? What are the plans, Hamid? Been traveling around, telling jokes to tens of people. And travel a lot. See this world, I travel a lot. And, I got to get on planes and shit sometimes. Sometimes I have to get on a bus. I took a megabus the other day. That is a humbling experience. That's where you know where you are in life when you get on a megabus. If you don't know what a megabus is, congrats on your financial stability. I'm here to tell you right now. There's no place to be. I know a lot of people sometimes don't travel because you got to get on a plane. They're afraid to fly. I'm not afraid to fly. I don't think I've ever been afraid to fly because my plane fear and my bus fears are two different fears. My plane fear is down here. My bus fear way up here. Anytime I get on a plane, I'm just like, man, I hope there's not a crying baby sitting next to me on this plane. That's the worst, right? When I get on a bus, I'll be like, man, I hope I don't get bit. If you're not looking, they'll chew you on the bus. You don't know that. Stressful to fly, honestly. Really stressful to fly because TSA takes their job very seriously. Yeah, can't bring shampoo on a plane, like a full bottle of shampoo, because we had that thing happen or whatever. Remember, we had that thing? Yeah. Oh, some of y'all don't remember. Okay, so like a few years ago, these guys got on a plane, and they wanted to fly the plane themselves really badly. And they got up to the cockpit, and they were like, give us the plane. And the pilot's like, oh, my God, they have box cutters. And they were like, don't be silly. This is Pantene Pro V. And they were like, oh, shit. Oh, that had to be more than 4 ounces. So now you can't bring shampoo on the plane. That's pretty much why you can't have Head and Shoulders, because meanwhile, you can bring a sword on the bus. They don't. You can walk through like Game of Thrones, just fucking. They don't care about security on the bus. They don't care. They just let you on with your sword. They must be his traveling sword. You know? I only got asked a security question one time on the bus. I've ridden the bus many times. Only one time it happened. This guy came up. He was like, "Excuse me, sir, to the best of your knowledge, you carrying anything on your person such as Schedule I narcotics like cocaine or methamphetamines?" And I was like, "No." And he went, "Damn." Then he just drove us to Cleveland. That was it. Sleepy bus driver, that's all. That's what you have to do sometimes when you're tight on money. Grew up poor. Anybody else grew up poor? Yeah, just 4 poor people in here. Woo! Could barely afford to say that. Oh, that's all I got. Oh, no, yeah, I grew up poor, man, you know? It's I think it's very funny. You know, we're in this climate, this political climate right now, and I think it's very funny that poor people think Donald Trump is going to help them. You know? He's like, he don't like you, bro. You're poor. You know? Rich people don't like poor people. Poor people especially don't like poor people, you know, because they're around the other poors, you know? I know this as a fellow poor. You know, when you're poor, you just sit there and judge other poor. Look at this poor mother. Your bag of cans. All you think about when you're poor is how not to be poor. That's it. I was like, all right, I got a solution. I'll tell dick jokes to people. And then poor people have the nerve to be like, hey, when you make it, don't forget about us. Whenever you make it, never forget where you came from. I'd be like, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. I think I want to reminisce over these Ritz cracker sandwiches with y'all. I don't want cinnamon sugar toast no more. I want a real cinnamon roll from a non-binary motherfucker named Dandelion. That's what I want. I want an $8 matcha that tastes like pond water. Worst part about being poor, because like I've talked to like my friends and shit. Some of them grew up poor as well, and I was talking to a friend recently. He's like, "Yeah, man, we were poor growing up, but when I was a kid, I never knew we were poor." I was like, "How?" That's the one thing I did know as a kid, was that we were poor. Because my dad would tell us straight up, like he wouldn't even tell me directly. We'd just be driving. He'd be like, "I ain't got no money." I was like, hey, bro, those are inside thoughts. You got to keep that up here. Like, you can't just hit me with your poverty Tourette's. What you doing? Yelling out, I ain't got no money. Worst part about being poor is when you go over to a poor person's house, because they don't tell you what's not working in their house until it's too late. Right? They just run out from around the corner. You didn't flush the toilet, did you? You're like, you're like, yeah, I took a big ass shit in the toilet, so I flushed. I thought that's what I usually do. I didn't want you to stumble into my doo-doo iceberg in there. I thought I was being a good house guest. Then they get mad at you. You flushed the toilet, Cheryl. God damn it. You can't just flush the toilet. You gotta take the tank lid off first, open the window, close the window, bow, then flush the toilet. You're like, all right, well, I didn't do any of that, so I guess you're gonna have to make a phone call or something. My dad never tells me what's not working in his house. Every time I visit him, it's something new. Last time I visited my dad in North Carolina, I walked into the house and all the lights were off. It was pitch black in there. And the only thing I could make out in the darkness was a silhouette of 2 legs dangling from the ceiling. Yeah, I know. Think about how I felt. I was terrified, bro. I was like, holy shit, those are dad's legs. You can't be rich or poor if you're dead, so he said, fuck it. Right? And I didn't want to turn the lights on and see this tragedy. I didn't want to see my dad up there like that. You know, I started getting a little emotional and everything. And then out of nowhere, the lights came on. My dad's standing there on the other side of the room, clear as day. And he was like, what you doing? I was like, I'm crying. He's like, what you crying for? I was like, I thought you killed yourself. He was like, what? I was like, I thought you hung yourself. He was like, well, ain't nobody hang themselves. The dryer's broke. I'm drying my jeans. I was like, nigga. I thought you committed suicide, Dad. He's like, you know I can't afford to commit suicide. I was like, all right, you're right.